Good morning, and hope you had a wonderful Christmas yesterday. And today is our Tuesday team call, so we're very excited to have you here. And those of you who are live with us, thanks for making the effort to get up this morning and join us. And for those of you who are catching the recording, I've got some great stuff for you today. So the first thing that we love to do on the Tuesday team call is our mental toughness training. So this is the book that I love. We used this book several years ago. We actually went through all 177 of these multiple times. We did this every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning on weekday mornings for about 3 years. So we did a lot of discussing of these principles. Um, if you were with us before, and if not, we love it so much. We're bringing it back. So number seven, the great ones know they are unaware. I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to just have a little chat about it. And for those of you catching the replay, if you'd like to comment under the YouTube video, that's great as well. So champions have come so far in raising their level of awareness, they realize there's always a higher level. Average people have a worldview that says being uncomfortable with who and where they are in life, or sorry, being comfortable with who and where they are in life is the key to happiness. The great ones have a worldview that says happiness is learning, growing, and becoming. School is never out for the champions. The more they learn, the more they realize how much they don't know. While average people seek mental comfort, the world class believes mental comfort is the death of growth. They live by this phrase: you're either growing or dying. Stagnation does not exist in the universe. Like the child who always asks why, champions always ask questions of other top performers in an effort to get a new take on an old idea. Their ongoing mental growth reinforces their belief of another level of conscious awareness that can make them more successful, more fulfilled, and happier. So the action step for today: ask yourself this critical thinking question: am I growing or dying? If the answer is dying, make the decision today to become more aware and to begin growing. And Carlos Marin, author and speaker, gave this quote: everyone is operating and running their lives at their current level of conscious awareness, which totally makes sense because you can't operate at a level that you um, don't know about, right? And then the world class resource is get your copy on the book, on the Handbook to Higher Consciousness by Ken Keyes Jr., this timeless class that will provoke you to think at a higher level. So that actually is one. In all the years that we've done this, I've never read that book. So I'm going to write that one down because I want to make sure to get a copy of that. The Handbook to Higher Consciousness by
You could,
Ken Keyes Jr. All right. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Um, for those of us who are here, we're going to have a little discussion about it. I'm going to stop the share so we can chat together. So, any thoughts about awareness or what I just read?
you know, from my spiritual beliefs, there's a concept of what's called eternal progression. And unless you love personal development, you're kind of going to get stuck and not be able to participate in that piece of um of things. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
you just have to, what is it? I think Socrates said that unexamined life is not worth living. So
right?
yeah. So
Yeah. No, I love that. One of the things that I thought of on this one, is, after we moved to the house that we live in now, and this has been about 7 years ago, and there was really like my whole life, I wanted to live in a house like this. I wanted to, from the time that I had kids, I wanted the play yard, I wanted plenty of area, I wanted room for my garden. I wanted to be able to, do projects and have whatever. I wanted plenty of room in the house so all my family could come for Christmas and everything else. And what I noticed after we moved in was I was like, we'd worked really hard to get here, really hard. And it was just so awesome to get here. And I was like, oh, yes. And for probably 2 or 3 years, I didn't care what happened. I didn't care about my business. I didn't care about anything. I was like, I'm so happy. Like I just got so complacent with things. And after about 3 years, I realized that, I was experiencing a level of dissatisfaction. Because I wasn't pushing as hard to grow. And I had some stuff that started happening with my health, and I had some stuff that was happening, in my family. We had a lot of challenges with a few things. And I wasn't like completely complacent in every area, but I really recognized that I wasn't pushing forward. I wasn't growing. I was reading still some things, but it just wasn't the same. It's different when you're hungry, right? When you're working towards something that you really, really want. And so over the last 4 years, because we've lived here for almost 7 now, so probably 3.5 years. I've been looking more at that and looking at, what goals do I have? What projects do I want to engage in? And basically, throw myself into how can I be better at this or that or whatever. And it really makes a difference in the level of happiness that I feel when I'm working toward something that I really believe in and feel really passionate about. I think another thing is, just like the whole recognition of all that has changed and what we've lost as we have come into, to 2020 pandemic, the world closing, what people are capable of. That has been kind of a shaking experience of just like, this wasn't what I was expecting, like on any level. And, and so that also has been a way of growth. And one thing that I remember, I listened to a homeschool guy. What's his name? Oliver DeMille, if you're familiar with him at all. But he gave a talk. I think it was, I can't remember if it was in the fall of 2019 or in the spring of 2020. But I listened to it sometime in that time frame. It might have been the fall of 2020. But he talked about, when you're in crisis and you see that things are shifting and changing and looking very different and you don't know what to do, if you panic, then obviously you don't get anywhere. But if you instead be like, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen with this? And then you like make a plan based on if the worst thing in the world happens, then what would I be doing? Because you're not, you can't live long term in a state of like fear and panic. So you have to like make a plan and start kind of pushing forward with it. And then he said, then make a plan of like if everything stays exactly the way it is right now. So like nothing changes in the future. There's no crisis, whatever. It was like crisis averted, right? Make a plan for that. And then make another plan that's like kind of in the middle of those things. Like things just kind of get back to like new normal. Like what plan do you have? And so I went through that exercise, and what I found was that all three of my plans, I could see myself still doing the same thing of pushing forward with the things that I'm passionate about, that I want to teach to other people. And whether I do that in one way or another way, I realized this is really what I'm about, and this is really what I want to do. And it took a lot of fear out of things because I was like, oh, um, I'm going to do this kind of regardless, right? I just might do it in a different way, or I might have a little different focus or whatever, depending on the things that are happening. But it gave me so much comfort to realize that who I am as a person and who I want to be and how I want to show up is not a lot different based on widely varying circumstances. But going through that exercise to consider and think about it and ask those critical thinking questions, right? Of just like, who am I and who do I want to be? Is what really, really helped me with that. And that awareness for me of coming into that space of like, this is what I'm about was a super helpful exercise. All right. I want to show you something super cool that you might not be aware of. So let me get back to my share screen. All right. This is video. It's hard to see a little bit just because she's writing really fast, but I'm going to guide you through this. And there's no sound with it. This was a reel, and I think there might have been sound with it initially. Um, but this is Amy Fulmer. Amy Fulmer is a presidential diamond. I think she's a presidential diamond. No, actually, I think she's a blue diamond, and she recently made Founder 2.0. And she's comparing because she came from another company and she's doing a comparison here. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to back it up so you can see what she's doing here. So, right here, she has model number one. She had 5,000 plus personal customers, 3,500 plus team members. She had 4,000 or 400 plus that were actual leaders on her team. She had to do $600,000 in team volume and required to get paid. She had to do $1,000 in personal sales every month. And she had to have, oops, let me back it up just a little bit. She had to have 1,000 in personal sales, 75 personal recruits with a sale every 3 months. And she had to have 600 team members and then she had to that's every 3 months purchase something, and she was making about $8,600 a month. And so you think about all of that. Model number two, which is doTERRA, she has 104 personal customers. She has, let me see if I can pause this where I can see what she's saying. Let me back it up just a little bit, because I just think this is so powerful. 104 personal customers, 1,121 team members. That's like everybody on her team. 197 of those are leaders that are actually working the business. Her team volume is 335,000. Her last company, it was 600,000
Oh, come
that
here.
she was doing in team volume. Go ahead and hit mute if you've just joined us. And then, get paid. Here's the requirement. How many personal sales do you have to do monthly? With doTERRA, it's zero. You actually are going to get paid even if you, this is why when I was talking about before, I was feeling I didn't care about my business. I didn't do anything. I still got a check every single month, even though I wasn't making any sales. I wasn't hosting any classes. I wasn't doing anything in my business, but because of existing volume, I still got paid. Remember, in her other model, she had to do $1,000 in sales every single month in order to get. Um, but she does have to do a monthly order of at least 100 PV, and we like 150, and that's what we teach here, just because of um, it makes it easier to get all the bonuses and stuff. 100 to 125 PV on that. And I want to back it up because you're seeing like the kicker right there. Look at that. How many years? The last one, 7 years, I think that took her. Yeah, so 100 to $125 is what she spent, what you have to spend. For 3.7 years with doTERRA, and monthly, remember what she was being paid before? 8,000, right? Now 25,000. Look at the difference of what it is that you have a hold of. And the fan thing is, if you don't want to focus on product for whatever reason, maybe you have enough product in your own home, maybe you're not wanting to sell product or don't want to do classes or whatever, you can sell that hygiene kit. You can fundraise that hygiene kit. You don't have to stack up any inventory or anything like that and meet that requirement. When you do six of them, you get 150 PV order, and four would actually meet the requirement to get you paid minimally, but you'll get paid better if you build your tree with that 150 like we teach you. But anyway, this is what is possible for you. Like, you bring in additional people who want to be a part of this. And I just think it's so, so powerful. Duplication model, we have these pieces that are available for you. We have the impact call, we've got a learn more call, we've got a welcome call, an onboarding call, a team call, and we have a wellness workshop for those of you who are interested in products. And I'll tell you, I've had a number of people who came in with the giving tree who are coming back to me now and being like, we want to know more about the product. And also, what we know about the product, we think it wouldn't be that hard to sell. So we kind of want to sell product. Is that okay? Yes, 100%. It's okay if you decide you would like to get involved in the product. Our impact call right now is Mondays at 11:30. We have a recording of it. um, the objective of this call is to show the impact that we're making to help create curiosity and to make them want to learn more. And then we have a learn more call. This one is Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Right before that call, I think at 7, they're playing the recording of the impact call for anyone who couldn't get on Monday morning or hasn't seen the recording yet. And then I'm hopping on. That one is to introduce them to the basic business overview so they can see kind of the compensation plan and help them make a decision to get started. The welcome call, this one is done by appointment. And that little QR code actually takes you to my calendar and you can hop on and bring somebody with you. This introduces your new donor or your new customer if you are product focused to your upline leader. Right now it's me that you're introducing them to, and this helps them to feel like they're a part of our team. We get to learn their goals and we get to connect them to our resources and next steps. So if you want to schedule that, grab a screenshot of that so you and file it on your phone where you can find it again so that you have that access. We do an onboarding call the first Saturday of each month from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning on Mountain Standard Time. The prerequisite for this is we invite you or ask you to finish that 72-hour checklist and then finish the ginger training days 1 and 2. That'll give you a foundation and a place so that you can come in and see our success system, and then we can answer any of the questions that you might have. Our team call is this one that you're here at. The objective is mental toughness training and Q&A. And then Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock, this is a wellness workshop. This is a different QR code. It's a different Zoom account. This is the one that my upline, Lawson, Aria Phoenix, which if you did not see her Christmas message, you want to watch that. And I think, yeah, so I've posted it in a few places, but I'll get it in some others. Oh, and PS, Facebook has kicked me off for the 4th time in 5 months. I'm not getting back on. So please connect yourself to WhatsApp so that you can still connect with me. Or if you have my phone number, you can always text me, but connect yourself to WhatsApp because that's where I have most of my groups, and that's where I send out a lot of announcements and stuff like that. And then after this week, we'll also have a hub page where you can go to get the recordings and things that you need. Okay, but this is the objective of this is to learn about product for specific health challenges, and it's an overview, but you're going to talk about a lot of different things, and I think you're going to love it. We had some new people that have been involved in Giving Tree, but that have been asking about product attend this last week. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We want to bring people to this to learn about this. We think this is going to be fantastic. If you're interested in selling product, this is where you want to show up and where you want to invite people to come and learn more because it is a very compelling presentation that will make your people ask a lot of questions and find some solutions that they've probably been looking for a while. Here's a summary slide with all of the QR codes that you need. So our impact call, the Tuesday team call, the learn more call, and the new builder all onboarding call are all using that big QR code, and you can see the times in the QR code. Your welcome call, you can book right there with the one next to with Brenda. And then the wellness workshop has its own code and is different that way too. So snag a screenshot of this, make it easy for yourself to be able to find this stuff. And then also I did it in a calendar format just to kind of help you because remember, success is scheduled. If you want to win, you got to put it in your calendar. And here's, where we are, some touch points where we're coming together, and you can come and hop in and bring people that want to be a part of that as well. So you can snag a screenshot of that quickly as well, and then you'll have it with you. And so that is kind of it in a nutshell. And I want to open it up to any questions that you have. We're happy to have you here. And if you don't have any live questions and you're catching the replay, go ahead and post those in the comments down below. This is a YouTube video, so you can just um, hop in there. So thanks for joining us today. Linda, you're muted if you're saying something to us.
This is good to know that we have a schedule and different meetings. I was told we weren't having team calls or these other calls on Thursday, so that's why I was kind of swimming up the stream without the paddle.
Well, hopefully that will work with your schedule and that will help you.
Well, yes, this will be great.
Good. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us, and we'll catch all of you later.
Bye.